Go for it.
All right. The ship sinks and Eli departs with the staff while the others head back to the Mirage to discuss their next course of action. With a windfall from the ship, the Virtues decide to invest in the Mirage, setting aside some money as a bonus and some money to expand into the buildings nearby to turn the Mirage into a full-fledged inn, converting some space to provide rooms for people to stay and sleep. And Abroshmina also plans on giving 5,000 gold to Aranthis so that he can do some renovations on Vale's temple that can't be done with the volunteers. And then there's a nice quiet evening at the Mirage where friends catch up with one another. They enjoy the evening, although Declan is a bit despondent about the fact that he had to kill one of the Barracados, but not that he shares that information with anyone. But everyone seems to sense that he's having a tough time, and they all try to let him know in their own ways that he is cared for and important to them. Albrashmina comes up with a new signature cocktail for the Mirage, inspired by her discussion that she had with Makud, that is called the Misty Place. M is for Mardu, the family that we all deserve. Eli returns later that evening and asks Makud if he had had a chance to look at the horn that they recovered from the vault of Mukhtar el Salih. I know I'm mispronouncing that. Bren offers to see if she can get anything from it and receives a terrifying vision of roaring wind and dragon claws ripping into scales and flesh alike, a minotaur battling against large silhouettes against the night sky, reminiscent of Makud's visions of his ancestor Enthris. And Makud remembers hearing a story about a horn that giants made that would summon dragons to one place and force them to fight. The horn was responsible for killing hundreds of dragons. And so they also remember the stories that Nahasira told them of the battle near Gormanthan, and they decide to take the horn to Nahasira and Deonte after making a few preparations. Said preparations being Abrashmina bought Jari a sending stone so that he and Makud could stay in contact if we were to go traveling again, or if Jari wanted to take the wyverns out into the desert. And Abrashmina also buys a lantern of revealing, and then they visit Tamim, the hunter from Dukarta, and he sells Makud a sack of venomous acid to enchant one of the jewels within his crown with a temporary acid resistance, which they have to go visit Thela to get the enchanted crown and to recharge Bren's necklace of fireballs. And Ubba tells them of an investment opportunity to help take some kids off the street by teaching them fighting and other crafting and various skills to help them find jobs as they grow up. He promises to get a plan together and present it so that the others can contribute on Makud's insistence. That's kind of where we left off.
Thank you very much for that. Take your inspiration.
I will.
All right. So, I think, unless people have things to do, we can just sort of skip ahead to the teleporting to Nahasira and Deonte. Is there anything people would like to do before that happens?
Is this the same day?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like morning-ish.
Yeah, it's kind of getting towards lunchtime.
Yeah.
How long will it take Thela to enchant Makud's headpiece? Because I imagine he doesn't want to be parted from it for very long.
Not long, half an hour.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, we just chill there and take care of that. Are we good on potions-wise, my dudes?
I don't know that we use.
Let me have a look. I currently have a Supreme, a Greater, a Healing Potion, an Anti-Mind Control one, a Shield Token, I think, that hasn't been used yet. So I have some potions.
I have a potion of greater healing.
Same.
And the potion of fire giant strength.
I don't actually seem to have any potions, which doesn't feel right.
I think
feel
you
like
had to,
we give
you had to use a lot.
I did. No, I have a bunch of greater healing potions. Never mind. I have 4 greater healing.
I was gonna
Declan
say,
just
like,
searched through his pockets and then find, oh, that's where they were.
Yeah,
This
Declan
pouch.
has massive inventory. It's crazy.
Okay, then I think we're good. Can Abarashmina get some more gem encrusted bowls? Either like we can say that she's already done this at some point, or
Give me an investigation check.
okay, she was gonna contact that person in the Six Eyes. Do I have advantage because I'm using the Six Eyes?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because that was not a very good roll. That was the worst roll. 9.
You can get one.
Okay. For at cost, 1,000 gold.
No, it's gonna be 1,500.
Oh shit. Worth it, I guess. Done.
Okay. Thank you very much for your custom. That's not what he sounds like.
I don't feel
Yeah.
that was his voice.
That was not his voice, and that makes me very uncomfortable. I do not like this person. I'm going to have to make sure I use my regular contact next time because I feel like this person fleeced me.
He's the go-between. That's why you had to make the investigation check.
So, Dan, you said that you had some other ideas for your crown, but you didn't want to take up the session, did you?
I did, and then me and Rob didn't talk about it all week, so
Oh.
just carrying on, and we'll talk about it at some time, I guess, Rob.
Yeah, I will
Crown things.
try to remember to make you remember.
Crown
make me
Gate.
remember.
Crown Gate.
At some point, I would also like the list of people in the ledger, just to remind you.
Oh, yes, of course. I didn't do anything I was supposed to. Alright. Is there anything else? No? Okay.
I thought of something, but I think it is a little bit off topic, so I think it might. It can wait.
You sure?
Or I can talk to you. Yeah. It's like old, like he who watches temple stuff. So
Okay.
I don't know if we want to. I don't know if we want to get into that right now,
Well,
considering.
Seeing as I have a backlog of messages for stuff to look at, why don't you just drop me a message at some point and we can we can look at it.
Sound good. Sounds good.
Okay. So, Bryn, I believe you have to make a roll of some description.
Sure.
Did she die in her sleep?
I was more
By
meaning for the
teleportation.
teleport, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if she rolls crit fail, she
We're
died
all
in her
gonna
sleep.
die. Alright.
Are you ready to add a new arc to this campaign?
I am. So, am I familiar?
You have.
Do we have an object? Because we've got several
You've been
things
there before. Yeah, everyone has an object.
from her horde.
Yeah, so you're guaranteed to go there.
Okay.
Okay.
Aww.
Still roll.
98.
Damn. Okay. You will definitely going there.
Mhm.
All right. Well, you materialize on the like pathway just leading kind of into the door of the mountain, the place where you entered last time to get to Nahasiri and Deonte's mountaintop pad. Very, very like heavy wind today, and it's like stinging your eyes and flicking sand up into your face from down below, and so you quickly hurry inside. Where you see Deonte like sitting at the sort of heavy wooden table off to one side, about to sit down for a meal, it looks like, and Nahasira just kind of lounging next to him, and they both sort of look around when you enter, and Deonte grins and he says, "Ah, hello."
Is she in dragon form or is she in human
She's
form?
in human form currently.
That was my question. Hello.
how are you doing? And he'll kind of get up and walk over. Nahasira sort of slowly joins behind him.
Second will just nod. Well enough. It's good to see you both.
How has the desert been treating you?
You know, same as usual. And Nahasira kind of frowns and says, well, I wouldn't say that. It has been a little strange.
Strange. How?
We have seen,
You talking about the lion things?
I am.
I knew it. They are so weird. I killed so many of them recently, but they just kept coming.
Well, that's good to know.
You kill a lot of them.
No, not me.
They are a strange life form. I've done some research into their nature. They seem to be some sort of parasite from the realms beyond.
She nods. I have not seen their like before.
Don't they like worry you? Aren't you meant to like protect things?
Yes and no, I suppose.
Have well, the reason that we came today is we came across an interesting artifact in a shower. We are wondering perhaps you might know more about it.
I would like to see it if I am to make judgment.
Ambrashmina will look to Makud.
Code. I presume it's on like a leather strap or something, and tied to something, I
Yeah.
guess. He'll swing it up and over his horns or something like that, and
So
present it.
she takes it, and you see, like, normally, you know, she's got this very sort of bronze complexion, and this sort of flowing, beautiful kind of green and black hair, you know, standing not far off Makud's height. And she takes the horn, you see, like, all the colour just drain from her face.
You seem to recognize the title.
She kind of sets her jaw and nods. I know this horn.
We understand that it has the power to control dragons. We thought it might be safest in your care.
Did we?
Oh, I thought we did. No? Did I make that up?
We did discuss it, but we haven't made it like that was like discussed outside of outside of game.
We come down on asking her about it to be better informed about the thing, because we may need it. This wasn't this is your thing to keep. It might end up that way.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
So Declan will rephrase. They're not sure what best to do with it. We'd considered maybe giving it your protection, but we wanted your opinion first.
It was carved from the horn of my father.
Your father?
She nods. This is not good. This horn has resurfaced at a time that I have been having other worries of a similar nature, and these two things in tandem make me very scared.
You believe they are connected? The parasites and the horn?
No. I've been having different concerns, not of the desert,
Are there other artifacts like this in this world?
There may be. There are many artifacts that are dangerous. But I have felt disturbance. I believe there are certain things that are returning to strength, and I believe one of them is Skrathmorn, the Red Terror. And you.
Powerful. Oh,
Sorry, I was say yeah. You. So she spent a little bit of time kind of giving you all the dragon lore, and I gave it to you in the form of a text thing. So you would know he was not the leader, but he was the largest and the strongest. You know, said to be the size of
We
a
actually
city.
went over the dragons after you logged
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Specifically for this reason.
Oh,
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah, that is why Deli got confused about
Yeah.
what we had decided to do with the horn, because we did discuss maybe we leave it with her. But yeah, we Skraithmore, the one that was licking his wounds.
She nods. I'm glad you remember.
What gives you cause to believe that Skraithmore has returned?
She will kind of turn and walk over to a large chest that's kind of situated off to one side, and she'll open it and pull out this large sort of urn type thing, and she'll sort of hold it out, and you can see that there's a like very kind of small amount of clear liquid inside, and she says this is a wormethil potion, and I can use it to detect others of my kind. It has been very red of late, and she kind of shimmers, and you see it like shifts several colors. You see like a sort of bronze brass color, a gold. You see like there's kind of shimmers of white and a large amount of red.
This red represents his presence, then.
I believe so, but without more, this is all I am able to see.
We need more of this potion.
I can make more, but I need the wormthil.
Need the worm what?
Wormthil.
Can you spell that?
Yeah, it's in all the dragon lore stuff, but I will spell it for you.
The dragon lore stuff is copy and pasted in Dan's notes, so it's hard to
Yeah,
access
for sure.
quickly.
For sure. I can copy and paste all the dragon lore if you want.
Yeah, if you want to put it in a separate doc in our campaign folder.
Oh, I actually think I made a dragon lore doc specifically for that purpose.
I have a feeling you did, because I have a
Dragon
feeling I copied it from there, but maybe.
lore. No, I think I deleted it. That's fine.
Oh.
I think I did it to like send to C to make sure it was all correct.
And then you deleted it?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Because I put it in my own notes, and I was like, if I ever need to get it again,
Oh, okay, I see.
it's there.
Same budget.
Copy link. Book.
Oh, could you just spell out the one word?
Oh yeah.
Hang on. Cheers.
WYRMTHILL.
It's a Wormthill.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just made up Wormethurge.
That's a dragon spell. That's what the name of the potion is.
Sure.
I didn't have a name for the potion. How did you spell that?
You know, like so worm. However you want to spell it, like WIRM, and then A, and then Thurge, THURGE. You know, like
Hey, Rob, you need to make that public access. It's private right now. Access denied. You need access. Asks for access or switch to an account with access.
But worm thurge.
it's Wormthill, is what he said it was. I just made up Wormethurge because I couldn't quite hear what he was saying, and I was just using sci-fi fantasy words.
I did Wormethil, which makes it sound like it's a fart, like one of those. Contact your doctor if you experience more than 4 hours of Wormethil. But my spelling was pretty close. I just added an A.
Nice. Yeah. So she says, I need more Wormthill plants.
Where do you get it?
Gormanthan.
Am I familiar with where that is?
That is the place where all of the dragons fought.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the island off to the southeast, right?
No. It's a sort of treasure island type situation.
We don't know where it's at.
Oh, okay.
It's not on the maps. That is the only place it grows.
Shall we then return there to obtain it?
If we just blow the horde, won't he come?
It has a radius. It's not infinite. It's only dragons that are nearby. If you blew it now, obviously I am here already, but any dragons in this vicinity would make themselves known.
Probably not something we want right now.
Probably.
Indeed not.
Can you go to this island, Comandan, to get some more of the Wormthill? Is it not something you can do yourself?
She shakes her head. If I go back there, he will smell me and he will rise regardless of whether he is strong or not.
Is that not what you want? To face him?
She kind of looks away. She says, I do not think I could do it alone.
Who was about to say that? Like he was leaning over to say that more surreptitiously, and then she just says it.
I thought my kid was going to be like, you're not alone. You're not. The boys.
She's having a moment.
There are others, right? Other graces? Other graces?
There are, but we are defensive creatures. We do not like making the first move.
Yet the thing must be done, no?
It will take some convincing and a little time, but I'm sure it is something we can do.
What exactly are we doing? I'm sorry, this.
I think we're meant to find the other good dragons first, right?
That is one thing that must be done, because if I am right, then, well, the world could be over very soon.
This
As we
one,
don't call any dragon, is there a way we can just call the good ones?
She shakes her head. None that would be effective from so far away, but I know a few places to start, and they will have answers as to further places, I am sure of it.
you say this one dragon could bring about the ruin of the world.
I do, and there are... Alone, maybe not, but he is the size of... She shakes her head and kind of just like almost looks up. He is enormous and extremely powerful, and while he is stupid, his footsteps cause earthquakes, and there are more of his kind, I am sure. Eggs that are hatching, and well, those that escaped Gormanthan and their offspring. Seeing Strathmorn rise would be a battle standard for them, and they would fall behind it.
Well, then their defeat sounds like the work of the world itself. It sounds like the work of an army.
There may be many of them, but there are some of us graces who remain. And if they rise, we will too. And if it comes to blows, they will surely win, but we would hope to mitigate their threat enough that with the help of the people of Lament, they could be stopped.
And Ashar?
She nods.
Makud kind of like scratches his head a little bit, and he kind of like looked up when she looked up, and he probably envisaged a similar sized creature, as big as the sky, and goes, I mean, we've been fighting all kinds of things for a while now, and there's not many that I know that would be much good against the dragon as big as this guy and all of the littler dragons. I mean, you've seen it yourself. And it like turns to Declan like, we are still standing. Think of all those people who thought they could too. The Barakados, and he kind of like waves his hand, like maybe the dwarves, but where are we going to get an army that could fight such a foe?
Declan is just standing, sort of a little implacable looking, his hands behind his back. Frankly, Makud, I'm not sure all the mortal armies of the world could handle such a threat. Something so titanic. What can we mortals do?
But isn't there, when you were telling us the story, you also mentioned that one of the terrors was defeated recently, but it took an army, yes? Perhaps we could go borrow that one?
That army is 50 years old. It is
That would
not a...
mean it's stronger now, yes?
She shakes her head. They have known a time of peace for the last half a century.
Damn it, tell me who's on the Taldoric Council. No. I want to go to Frosthaven. What are we to do then?
I think the first thing that must be done is that Wormthill is recovered, and I must speak with what graces remain.
How many of you are there?
Well, there is myself, there is the Gitanarai, the Gold Grace. There is... It's not even close to what I said. There is the Dark North Wind, and well, I think that is it. The only other dragon who would fight on our side is the Pale Terror.
Was that 3? Dark North Wind, Pale Terror, and one more.
And
It's
Kitanarai.
alright.
Yeah.
And herself.
So 5?
4.
Four dragons total.
The Dark
Which
North
one's
Wind is Silver,
Yeah.
but we don't know that. Do we know that? Do we know his name is Silver?
No.
Or is she only calls him the Dark North Wind? Okay, cool.
And you believe the other remaining terrors would rise as well?
I believe so. Diva
And what are
is... Diva is... would likely come. But as for the others, I am not sure.
And what are their number?
She shakes her head, like, I have no idea.
You think they have bread?
Yes.
And why have your kind not?
There were more of the terrors, and for our kind, breeding is for life. Many mates fell at Gormanthan.
I see. You will forgive my boldness, but it seems the security of all of our world depends on your species to some degree. Perhaps tradition might be forgot in face of such odds.
She kind of chuckles a little, and she says, well, that has already happened to some extent. She kind of puts a hand on Deontay's shoulder. I am not the only one who has mated outside of my species.
Kind of looks to Deontay with like a genuinely curious look. Can you produce offspring?
I have some of your blood.
I would like some samples, please.
Well, I'm not really comfortable with the whole fatherhood thing yet. Think I'm maybe a bit young for that.
How old are you?
Few hundred? 200 or so?
One's eyes just roll way far back in his head.
I think it's 200-ish.
Perhaps you should start thinking about it then.
I mean,
That's very young for my kind.
why are we putting pressure on their family situation right now,
mean,
guys?
I would also say, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, Nazira, but baby dragon's going to take a century to grow up, right? she kind of just shrugs and says, well, it depends.
I did not mean as a solution for our current conundrum.
How quickly can you make an army, Matt?
Come on.
Go, I need it right now.
Agreed,
Go,
girl.
go, go.
We're gonna turn you into the alien queen from which one? The shitty one, the one with Winona Ryder. Come on,
Well,
jump
no,
to
right?
it. Yeah, Winona Ryder was in one of the alien movies, the one that had like
The fourth one, right?
huh? Yeah, the fourth one,
Right. Oh, okay.
Resurrection.
Third or fourth.
I think the fourth one was Resurrection.
Yeah, yeah, Winona Ryder was in that one. She was the secret synth. Oh no, spoilers for something 30 years old.
I am going to make you all feel very sad right now, but when I first watched Alien, I was quite young and I went, oh look, it's the alien from Alien vs. Predator.
Oh god.
Because I hadn't seen either.
I mean, I guess that tracks. That tracks.
Someone played Alien vs. Predator in my boarding house when I was like 13, and then I watched...
Oh, such a great game. But not the Gearbox one.
No, I was talking about the movie.
Or whatever.
Mhm.
No, the game Alien vs Predator is like an awesome game.
Yeah. The movies were pretty good too. I was actually
they're
like
fun.
surprised by them. The first one was better than the second, but
They all have their strong points and weak points.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
strong points being the alien and the predator.
Mhm.
They're very strong.
Anyways,
Of course, I did not mean as a solution for our current predicament, but
Well,
it seems that such problems as tied to your species are bigger than just your species. We seem to be somewhat reliant upon you.
I know Rythi has had children some time ago. They would be of fighting age.
It's good.
And
Here we go.
the Kitanurai, she has a few thousand people who follow her. And they would fight. But they are human. Powerful humans, but humans.
putting in my notes, Kitanurai has an island. Wraithy has children. Sulfur
Has
is
problems.
emo.
Has issues.
Is emo. Right, so you are saying that you cannot go to Gormentum yourself to retrieve the wormtail because you will be sent there, but perhaps we can go for you?
If that is something you are able to do, I think it would be worthwhile.
It sounds like that there is not much choice in the matter. If Scraithmorn is as powerful as you say,
If Straithborn is as powerful as she says, are we worthy opponents? Even Makud, with all his strength, I imagine, is no match for a dragon the size of the sky. You will forgive me, my friend.
Strathmorn fled once. We beat him once. And this time, when he comes, we will defeat him again, but we will not let him escape.
he
She
was.
says, and
pow-
you see her like body kind of shift, and you just feel like heat pouring off her, like she's in like pride. I'm about to turn into a fucking dragon mode.
Yes, he was powerful in his prime and took down several dragons in his prime, but that was several centuries ago, and he has been recovering from his injuries ever since. If there is ever going to be a time to stop him, it would be while he is still recovering. Or before he recovers fully, I suppose. That's what I meant to say. But everyone gets the gist of what I was saying.
There's no disagreement on that point. But are we the ones for the job?
Oh, Declan. Abrashmina kind of chuckles. It was pure providence that placed us on the Helmsman Trove and allowed us the ability to come across this horn in the first place. I suppose it would come to no surprise to you if I say that that could not have been mere coincidence.
It would not surprise me.
She says, like, clutching like her holy symbol.
Still,
Jesus never puts anything in our path that we're not able to overcome.
Oh, brother.
Jesus.
Of course, but we are here and we have delivered a message. It is not because I do not believe it needs doing. But if we go and fail, what has been accomplished? We cannot go without a plan or a strategy.
We're just going for some flowers, right? Strathmore isn't there now, ready to fight, right?
No, he is somewhere else.
Let's go get the worm though, right?
This is the plan. For the-
Okay, I must have been under a different impression. That I thought he was there hibernating, and we had to sneak around and
No.
try to
It
wow.
was if it was kind of one of those things that if she went, he would sense it,
He
and
is.
so she can't go.
He is nearby, but he is not there. But they know he didn't get far.
It's kind of like dragons moving causes ripples. So if she moves,
Yeah.
he'll find her, kind of thing. I think that's the impression I'm getting.
Yeah.
It'd be like throwing stones in a pond if she were to move and get the worm bill herself.
It's the hobbits with the ents. Like, we should go right under their nose because we're so small. It's like, that does
Mhm.
make a lot of sense.
Makud just would be an ent in the Lord of the Rings as well.
Yep. I was thinking the same thing.
Does that make us Merry and Pippin just hanging out on his shoulders?
Pretty much.
I mean, sure.
So Bryn definitely would be a hobbit, like Merry and Pippin. Don't get offended, Dylan, but I get serious Faramir vibes from Declan.
Faramir's a great character.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
he's a
Faramir
fantastic
is
character.
awesome.
I love him. But
Time
I'm just,
for-
he's an also
Time for Declan to show he is a man of quality. Whatever it is.
Oh man, you're gonna make me want to watch that this weekend. Hold on, I'm gonna switch my music.
You put on the Lord of the Rings soundtrack.
Yep. So we will go to Gomantum. I apologize. You'll have to let us know where it is. It is not on any of our maps.
Yes, it wouldn't be. There is a ship that can take you there, I believe, but it leaves from Calland.
Bryn goes stiff as a board at this.
Is there no secret sigil there? Perhaps you could teach to Bryn to get us more quickly.
This is... It was the site of a battle that has become more since. Before we arrived there, it was just a rock in the ocean, but now it has been fed by the blood of our kind and has grown into something greater. No living creatures have been there in centuries. No one to make sigils, no one to create teleportation circles or anything like this.
What is this ship that can take us?
Well, I do not know it by name, but the captain is named Nar Scarborough. Put it in
Nar.
Gnar. Scarborough. As in he's got a brow with a scar on it.
Okay.
Or does he?
And he is the only one crazy enough to go to a place no one else goes.
I think it is. He is the only one who knows where it is, and yes, to some extent, he is the only one insane enough to actually travel there. But he is a good man. No,
It sounded like you sound Scarsborough, which is
Yeah, but
you know.
I wouldn't say it like that. I would say
Okay.
Scarsborough. Like
Oh, that's
Edinburgh,
true. Sorry.
not Edinburgh.
Sorry.
No worries.
You said Scarsborough like how we would say Scarsborough.
Yeah, so that's like the weird thing. I don't have a Scottish accent, but there's certain things that I say somewhere between Scottish and English, and it's weird, like brow
So that
or
would have
pound.
been borough for you.
Yeah, that's Scarsborough is how I would say
Yeah.
what you wrote. But
Gotcha.
yeah, like I say the word. The rest of my accent would dictate that I say it like pound, like, you know, southern people. But I say pound or bath, like a northerner. But I have the accent of a very stupid posh southern person.
I mean, that's how the English do it, like Loughborough. That's how I'd say Loughborough or Edinburgh.
Yeah.
Like,
but I was more meaning the reason why my brow sounded weird to her was because
sure.
I don't say brow, I say brow, which is something I got.
I got it anyway.
Thanks, man. You get me though.
No problem.
So,
how does he know where it is?
that is something you will have to ask him. When I went north before, he took me there, but that was at the time when Strathmorn was far more weak than I believe he is now, and even then the water began to bubble and heat poured off the ocean like nothing you have seen. But he stood firm. No fear. He's a brave man.
I'm certainly wondering why the hell, like, how old this guy is and when she last went.
Yeah.
I'm not sure McCood would be, but he'd be more focusing on the sea boiling.
When was the last time you were there? Brashmina asks.
That was which kind of things from moment. I think 200-300 years ago.
This man, he is an elf?
No. Oh, I see. She kind of
You may not.
frowns.
You may not be alive anymore.
May have left maps and charts though.
He did have charts. Perhaps
This was a human man you speak of.
it was.
Yeah. She.
She didn't realize.
Yeah.
It's a very annoying habit you will have that you keep dying.
Yes, you'll have to forgive.
Yes, it is a common trait of our kind, unfortunately.
Well, not your kind.
Brashmina kind of frowns. What do you mean?
We can discuss what I mean later. There are more pressing things. If you would do this for me, I would be very grateful.
Sure, I can go get some plant.
Gratitude aside, it seems a thing that needs doing. And if we are the ones ready and available, then so be it. Though I would hope that you would make all haste. to marshal what resources you can.
I will be journeying to Kitanurai today. And I will speak with her, and she may wish to speak with you in the future. I hope that is all. I hope that is something you are comfortable with.
Of course. And
Why does she need to speak with us?
Well, she may wish to plan to. I don't know. I am just preparing you. She is not unlike myself. Wiser, perhaps.
I think, like you, Declan, she would not make friends or allies with somebody that she has not measured up.
That is correct.
How much of this plant do you need?
Only a small amount, but I think it is wise if you bring as much as you can. It looks
Special.
and she'll like hold up her hand, and you see like an image of this sort of reddish green, like grass almost, sort of like long plains grass in tufts. This is what it looks like.
Would you mind if I take a small sample of this here?
Are you referring to the potion?
Oh, I thought she had a little bit of the
No,
grass.
she was showing
It's
up
an
an
image, minor
Apologies.
illusion.
Yeah, like
Minor,
an
okay.
illusion.
Special way to
she's
transport
not
it?
Byron. She can't make it real.
Yeah.
He's just like grasping at it, like, why can't I touch it?
Oh, that's something Byron could have done, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it not organic material?
He could make it real for like a minute, but I think it might have this thing that you can't like use it as ingredients for things.
Ah, okay.
Like the transmuter can like make things, but not to a value worthy of enchantment or whatever.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just realizing how OP the illusion wizard is.
You can do anything.
I mean, Byron is potentially past level 20. Maybe he's like prestiged, and the things he illusions now are real. Who knows? Maybe there's an item. If he can make a ring that breaks the spell economy of the game for Bryn to find, he probably can break reality.
To be fair, he can cast creation now, so I think he probably could.
Yes, not from illusion, but yes, he could wish for it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even if he didn't learn creation, he could use wish to cast creation, and just because that you can use in for spell components, I believe, because creation's permanent. But yeah. Anyways, sorry. Derailing. Who's on the Teldori Council?
Sorry, just one last thing. I'm just wondering if we're in like a Groundhog Day scenario where we already lost, but like Byron's magic like pulled the world back again, and we just keep attempting.
It's fucking Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the bloody battle that Nahasira was in whenever she found the ring. It was the future battle that we're about to lose.
Oh no.
Time travel. Real-time Battle of Gormanton.
Ooh.
Scribble.
Certainly when Makood said about making her friends or allies, she's not measured up. In like Makood's mind, he's seeing the other dragon riders on the dragon, and I guess kind of feeling through Enthrist, like a bond between him and the dragon he was riding on, kind of thing. Like they wouldn't let any old person ride on them. So
yeah,
he's definitely seeing that in his mind's eye. Right. I have just like one teeny weeny question.
Of course.
How far is like close to a dragon when you blow the horn? Because you are like very big, and it doesn't need to be like precise. But like Makood is just wondering, because it doesn't require attunement. Do you have to have like the intent to like summon a dragon Like, you really want to fight it? Otherwise, why has this not, been blown a bunch and people have died for it?
Yes, you must. Well, it is 20 miles, and the truth is, I do not know. There have been many times in history that it has been lost and found and lost again. So whoever has kept it has not blown it. Or, when they have, there have been few dragons nearby, which is perhaps more likely as there are few of us left.
So it's entirely possible that whoever owned this before we found it was not aware of what it could do. Perhaps they just thought it was a pretty horn.
That is
Seems an unlikely thing to lock in a very expensive vault.
Very true.
I
It is
believe
a very
that
pretty horn.
to the discerning eye, you would be able to tell that it is at least powerfully magical. Magically powerful.
Pretty old to me.
Nahasir, can you prepare us for what dangers we might face when we arrive?
Pardon, sorry, can you repeat that? Cut out for me a bit.
Can you prepare us for what danger we might face when we arrive?
Give us stuff. No.
I mean more with information.
Well,
I'd be happy with stuff.
I mean, stuff would be nice.
it is rather barren. There are some very strange creatures on that island. Along the shore there are crabs with giant iron shells, and
They are beasts of the nominal sort, or they are monstrosities?
I believe that the land has been imbued with the blood of dragons, and so the creatures there who have eaten the plants that grow in that soil have become more draconic themselves.
I see.
You'll find several things, but nothing, I believe, that will endanger you severely.
Roughly a challenge rating of 10 or below.
These encounters are going to be medium at best. Nothing deadly, which is bollocks, because, otherwise there's no
At
point.
least until you meet the dragon turtle.
As if there'd only be one.
Sure.
There's a Rat King version of dragon turtles.
Oh no.
Holy shit,
Bound up.
I'm writing that
little-
down. Yeah. Just like 500 dragon tails.
All stuck at the ass.
Yeah. Kaiju. Alright. So she says, well, if you are willing to go, then we would be grateful if you would do so soon. There's much to be gleaned from this wormtail.
Would it be dangerous to attempt to scry on any of the terrors? Would they know?
I do not think it is a good idea. I believe Strathmorn is lacking in intelligence, but the others, they are highly skilled magical practitioners themselves.
Abrashmina makes a note. No creeping on the dragons.
Tell me, do you know, or can you intuit, the source of Strathmore's great size and power? Why is he so much greater than the others?
His mother was the largest of all dragons, and his father was second or third. And then, when he was born, they took him away to the plane of fire, and when he returned, he was enormous. That is all
So
I know.
that he perhaps infused with the elemental energies of that plane.
Perhaps. I believe it is to do with both that and the heritage that he holds.
Dragon steroids.
Could there be a way to sever him from that power, weaken him further?
Perhaps.
Can I roll an Arcana check?
Yes, you may.
Cood is going to do the inverse. Is there a plane Cood could visit to become as big as Strathmore?
If I figure something out, I'm gonna keep it to myself while Maku's around.
Aw.
Because the elemental
Makood
plane
just sitting in the plane of fire going, no, this is okay. No, this is okay.
I got this.
No, McCood just needs to go to the elemental plane of cow.
Yep.
The elemental plane of beef.
It's a 29.
Yeah, you reckon he'd need like an active, arcane connection to that plane. You know, there's probably something on him like his heart or, a jewel or something like that that feeds him directly. So there's maybe something to separate.
Either an artifact or something that's part of him that channels this energy from.
Yeah, you reckon that's probably. In similar cases of creatures feeding and gaining power from elemental planes, that's what it's been.
Okay.
It's possible that Strathmore is possessed of some token of connection to that plane. If we could discover what it is, it may be possible to devise some way to destroy or sever it from him.
That is an interesting hypothesis. I will mention it to Ketilnarai. She is well versed in matters of the plane of fire. Her island guards it. Or guards a gate.
Would you like us to come with you when you go speak to her?
I think your time would be better spent going to Gomanthan, but I will fly there now. And then, when we are finished, I will perhaps take you to her. In fact, you are going to Calland. It's
Yes.
maybe wise for you to visit Raithi.
And the cold north wind, is he not up there as well?
He will take some finding. He is a little damaged.
It is unfortunate to hear.
But he is powerful. And Raithi is powerful as well. He is perhaps the next biggest after Strathmore. And though he is chromatic, he is good.
For you to say such a thing, he must be especially good.
He is. He is. I've witnessed him do many things that even what's the word? Metallic. Fucking metallic. Even metallic dragons may not. He was once young and full of rage. A very dangerous creature. But he now has a human mate and children, and He is a good individual.
And we shall seek him out.
You must find Raith's Peak. That is his home. And when you
Do
find
you know
him,
what that is, Bryn?
Bryn,
Have I ever heard of it?
l'histoire check with advantage. History check
Ooh. With advantage.
with advantage.
I know so much history. Oh, well, that's a thing. Yeah, that's not bad. That is 15.
Yeah, you've definitely heard of it. It's in a shitload of songs. Most of them are about how there is a dragon that lives there, and that but all the songs do not portray him in the way that he is portrayed by Nahasira. He is, in almost all of them, this kind of bloodthirsty, violent, murderous, tyrannical beast. Yeah, you know, when she says Rythy and Ryth's Peak, you're like, oh, fuck, okay.
You're
That's not good.
sure it's Ryth's Peak?
I am.
You seem taken aback, Bryn.
I mean, there are songs about a dragon living there, but he is not the friendly, benevolent dragon that you portray him to be.
Have you forgotten that humans die again?
No, Rythy is good. He gave some of his heart to his mate so that she may live alongside it. He is...
Sold his life rights to some really bad bards who wrote some really just nasty songs about him.
Yeah, his ghostwriter completely twisted the facts.
I mean, if you want to protect yourself, you're not going to be like, hey, I'm a good dragon, and, you know, people might
Those-
come and start asking for favors, right?
Those songs were once true, but now he is different. I promise you.
He was changed by the power of love.
We've been over
Sorry.
this. That's not a real thing.
Love.
That's the power of love. Sorry.
Now you're one of the birds.
I did not know you were a bard.
There was once in
Multi-class
another.
next level. And she'll say, when you meet him, ask him of the year 312. If he is good, he will know that I have sent you.
Wait, what did she say?
We're supposed to ask him
Oh,
about
it's
the
Mina who
three-
didn't. Oh, yeah, 312. I was like, I wrote it down, but I'm relying on Mina to remember, because Makud is going to be there, like, what was it, like 296?
1203?
No, 482? No. Is
I'm
it the
writing
year
it.
3? No.
No, okay, I'm writing it down now. But what did she say?
If he is good,
He
If
will
he is
know.
good, he will
I've
know.
sent you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, is there a chance that he is not good?
No, but he will know I sent you, and that is good. But
So we mention year 312, and he'll know we were sent by him by Nahasira.
Yes.
And then we're not just like random villagers that
Just
said, you know what?
punters.
Fuck those stories. Let's go.
Okay.
like kids from the
Does
Grinch.
Abrashmina know anything special about the year 312 GC?
History check.
Ooh, 14, I think.
No.
Yes, 14. Oh, okay.
So,
Wakut is gonna like turn mostly to Declan, but also kind of the group as a whole. But like, should we go tell the dwarves to like build the biggest weapon they can to kill? They didn't know what a dragon was, but if we just say like, a really big flying worm, they should know. It might take us a while to like do things, and they might take a while to make weapons.
That is actually not a very bad idea.
Do us a favor.
I like turn to Nahasira and go, "Have you met the dwarves?" And he like leans down to like put to like their head height. Little people who are like really good at making things.
I
They
know.
live
Like
underground.
this, and he like holds up the hammer, a smaller one.
I know of dwarves. Yes.
Did they help the last time?
No.
Is that because they did not know?
They probably did not know. They do not know a lot of things that happen above.
I do not think they knew. I do not think many knew until it was too late. There were only very few who joined our cause. Your ancestors being among them, Makut.
Makut like beams. Chest grows 3 sizes. And they will be there again. And he tries to like give her a very sincere look. I don't know if that improves her mood at all.
She puts a hand on your shoulder, and it's very hot to the touch. And she smiles and nods, and she says, "I am honored to fight beside you, Makut."
Let us hope that the cost need not be so high this time. I understand many were lost. The lost.
Many. Our kind have never recovered.
And there is not as much to lose.
She kind of
On the
begins.
contrary, Makut, there is far more.
She kind of begins chuckling, and it like deepens into a very loud like belly laugh that echoes around the room, and kind of you feel all in your chest more than you hear. So I did say the E word that time. And she says, "I like the way you think, Makut."
I like the way I think too. We should go.
If we have to do this thing, there are loose ends to tie up in a shop.
A few, yes. We should make sure that preparations for the Mirage is underway.
And I would like to speak with Sherlock before we go.
We need to be prepared for a journey to Lament.
Yes.
I quite hoped that perhaps on. Did you go to Calland, Bren?
No.
During
No,
downtime?
Tom, she hasn't had that.
Okay.
Because her family chose to stay,
Mm-hmm.
if you remember.
So there might be. We could probably like cut some of the journey off by teleporting to Dithoin then.
Well, she could teleport us directly to Calland.
Oh,
Yep.
I mean, with a roll, right?
I mean, she has things from Calland, like herself, presumably.
Yes.
And family
Her-
and trinkets and her family. Like
Yeah,
she
you
might.
have to be carrying
Her
your mother.
dagger. Her
Yes.
dagger is from Callan. Her dagger is her dad's dagger,
Oh,
isn't
I
it?
forgot about
No,
teleport.
her dagger belonged to her mother.
I'll be honest.
Okay.
Does she have another way she wanted us to go?
No,
No.
teleport to Callan's like excellent. I just had also prepared a whole ship arc for like 2 sessions, and then it's like, oh yeah,
I
teleport's
mean,
a
we
thing.
could.
Fuck.
I mean, we could totally,
No.
some mental
I'm-
trauma, and she can't teleport to Callan.
I always can use that somewhere else. Not a problem. It was my
I mean,
stupid fault.
I wouldn't mind ship arcs in this world. It
Yeah.
sounds like fun, but
We could kill some slavers.
you could.
Pirates.
Yeah. Woo. I'm not adverse to that. There's probably reasons. But also
Yeah, we can-
teleport.
We can go through Maroc and punch out some of the slave trade on our way up.
Yeah, swing by Algira, set it on fire.
Yeah, well, since we're in the area.
And burn it to the ground.
But yeah, that's something we can figure out once we are ready to go. Are you okay with teleporting us there? Prin?
Yeah, I should be okay. Yeah, I could. What time of year is it? In
In Callan?
Yeah.
Okay, let me. So. Oh, wait, I have to check. Oh, here we go. Okay, it's November, I think.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be cold.
It's
So
gonna
that might be a reason
so
for us to
cold.
come in a little bit more south, so that we could get proper provisions.
Yeah, and dragons can smell teleportation, so maybe I should.
Oh shit!
I mean, I
Karen's just getting all of this grief. It's like fucking dragons. Every time he arrives and goes somewhere.
I mean,
Pests.
I can certainly teleport us to Callan, but given the time of year, we might want to hit someplace a little farther south where we could be properly provisioned. I don't think you guys have ever seen snow before.
No. Have
Yeah.
not.
Not many warm furs that we could find here in the desert.
Sounds quite beautiful, but then gets very dirty.
In the cities,
Much like
yeah.
society. Smolder
What-
and smolder.
That's kind of where he was going with it.
Isn't there a saying that all roads lead to Virus?
I thought you were going to say don't eat yellow snow there,
No.
but both
Go
of
to
those
Vyros
are
if you wanted to.
Virus.
Why would we go to that?
Because it's a cultural trade hub in the mid.
Buy
And-
stuff.
mid-
And has
Mid-south,
roads
yeah.
straight to Calland.
Yeah.
Also, it's one of the few places that Mina knows in Lament, probably.
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
'Cause,
from
yeah,
Lament?
it's
Have you
like-
been to Vyros? Dan, you feel me?
I feel like you're making. I feel like you're making fun of my inability to pronounce
ignore
things
No,
properly.
No, I
an
think it was an
Oh,
American
it's an
tourist
American
thing, I
in
think.
general.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
They're like, oh,
It wasn't directed
have
at
you
me.
met the
No.
Queen? Are you from London? No, I'm from Stoke-on-Trent. Is that near London?
Me.
I mean,
It's actually, not
you
miles away.
fuckers do the same thing.
Yeah.
We're all from New York, Los Angeles. Where else?
I mean, she's
Mm.
basically from Texas, right?
I mean,
Yeah,
people.
Texas.
Country,
Yeah,
yeah.
only 7 hours away from Texas, but yeah, sure, I'm basically there.
Yep.
I mean, that's not that far.
Okay. I've had Dan tell me several times that an hour and a half trip to Oklahoma City is obscene
I mean, my
to do
dad,
on a weekly basis.
my dad
I
used to
am
drive
nodding
up
very
to
strongly.
see my mum for 7 hours, and if If a distance fits in the UK is in America, I consider it not very far.
Yeah, because like I told Dan that Kenny used to drive down to Oklahoma City, which is like an hour and a half, 2 hours from Tulsa every week, and he's just like, "Oh, that's so far."
Yeah,
I was
no,
just
that
like,
is
"It's only
insane.
an hour and a half." It's only an hour and a half. It's like 2 podcasts, and you're there.
Yeah, basically, if you're traveling for over 3 hours in the UK, you better expect to stay the night.
Yeah, that's a road trip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a UK road trip right there.
There's like people who live in Tulsa that commute to Oklahoma City every day, and vice versa.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, in London, commuters don't get into work till 10:30 because it's so busy, but they only live about 10 miles away from the work. That's how crazy London is. Like, you just can't move.
All right, so we're going to
Anyways.
go to Viros.
Do we have to go to Viros?
Do you have a better suggestion?
Not particularly, but I find people from Viros to be insufferably arrogant.
Oh boy.
Sorry.
Oh, Declan. Oh, Declan, my dear friend. We're just in and out. Get some provisions.
It's a
And
very dirty place, too. Everyone spits.
I'm pretty sure that's what they say about Dethoyne, but okay, mate.
Yeah, so Dethoyne is like London, and Virus is like Paris.
Forgive me, it's littered with cigarette butts.
If you try to order in a restaurant, they're absolute dicks to you.
If you don't speak in their dialect, they get very fussy.
But if you try and speak it and you don't do it perfectly, they'll just speak to you in English, the fuckers. I mean, common.
I mean, comment. So you don't have a better suggestion?
No.
I think that is just him being like, I'm from Texas, Oklahoma sucks. I'm from Oklahoma, Texas sucks.
Isn't Oklahoma in Texas?
Yeah.
Can we take a break?
Yeah,
That's how states work
let's take 5.
here in America.
Okay, let's take 5. We're taking 5.
Oh, do you remember when she said she was going to ignore me if I said mean stuff? Ha!
Yeah.
Victory for Rob.
You take them where you can get them.
It's been a rough year.
Unprofessional ignoring.
Yeah, damn, I had this whole ship thing.
I mean,
Think of a reason, like, we took a break for a reason. This is where the DMs plan their sessions, right? If you can think of a reason we can't teleport,
I don't want to be that
then you get your
fucking
ships.
guy. There was going to be...
We can always teleport home.
On
no
ship
biggie.
intrigue and, like, some conflicts and maybe a coup. It was going to be a whole thing. Damn it.
That sounds like a lot of prep.
It wasn't a huge amount. It was mostly, vague bullet points for me to elaborate on further. But
Prin tries to teleport to Calland, but Calland isn't there anymore.
She appears on a ship.
It's as if an entire place was snuffed out and suddenly went silent.
Alright, I'll be right back.
You okay, mate?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. Why?
Don't get much chance to catch up, is all.
Oh, yeah, no, all's well. How about you?
Yeah, pretty good. Just keeping on.
Yeah.
No one. I can't say no one I know has the coronavirus anymore because someone I knew had it, but they've already recovered and it was fine because they were of a reasonable age. So that's
Pretty
good.
weird. Yeah, no, it's pretty weird how it works. Like, it seems to leave some people relatively unfazed, and other people so totally back.
But it's not massively affected our situation, apart from my partner's working at home, that we got set up quite easily. And then we just really go from there. I messed up a food shop. Ordering online that's been the biggest problem for us, which is not really that much of a problem. Is that we did all of our food shops online, and that now is a difficulty, and it's basically still a gamble whether you're going to get it anywhere near when you wanted it or not. So that's the only inconvenience, really.
Like, in terms of timing, you mean?
Yeah. So where you used to be able to book any slot you wanted at any time and know safely, guarantee that you could really get your food when you wanted to. Now they're like gold dust, but like delivery slots. So we have to go on there most days to see what's going to be going on 3 weeks from now, just to
wow.
see if a couple of slots open up.
Yeah.
And that's like hourly slots every day of the week on every hour. There might be a couple unleashed every so often. They kind of do them in waves and they get snapped up real quick.
You're in a fairly decent sized city, right?
Yes. Fifth or sixth biggest in the UK. I'm not out in the sticks by any means.
Right, yeah. And like the lockdown there is pretty restrictive, yeah.
Reasonably, yeah.
Like, you're allowed to go outside and walk your dog and stuff, but like no shopping in stores, like that kind of thing.
No, you can shop. There are fairly stringent guidelines of supposedly like depending. It's actually like so basically everywhere you have to be cautious, and you get your one exercise a day or whatever they said it was. But the shops themselves have taken it on them to put in because they might be more culpable or something. They've put in stringent guidelines, so it's potentially only one person from every household can go in, and there's like a one-way system now, and you have to stay so far away from people, etc. And some places masks aren't like, although masks seem like a very big thing in the US, they aren't mandatory here at all. You see a few people wearing them.
Yeah. But so it sounds like that would
Back.
drive traffic online more and more.
Yes, no, absolutely. It certainly has done, and like vulnerable people, the elderly and stuff, doing it more and more. But
Yeah.
it's I don't know. It's rather hard to gauge how well one country is to the other, because some countries like count only hospital deaths, and then some of them, like England, has been, as of a couple of weeks ago, been counting care home deaths as well. So the numbers suddenly like jumped up. But then not very few places can count like deaths in the community at home, and that's whether they're even that accurate to begin with, because counting large numbers of people is incredibly difficult. So
And a lot of people are getting sick or dying without even getting a test, so you don't even know.
Sure.
You're not going to know until like data's collated years down the road.
So I don't think it's been the best response. I don't think it's necessarily been the worst. I think largely a lot of people are not that affected. Or
The thing is that the UK and the US currently have the two highest infection and death rates. But that the UK sort of like around the time your PM got sick, like started getting really serious about it. So my understanding is that things have like the lockdowns have gotten like are being extended and like
sure.
Whereas the United States is just completely like a patchwork of solutions that are going to be various degrees of successful.
We don't have masks still, but my dad today actually told me on the phone that he works in like I thought about the term earlier, but it's a place called Biocity. It's like this science nurturing kind of facility where they like lots of different science businesses, and I can't think of the name that I had in my head for it. But basically, lots of different science-based businesses all crowd here, and one of them has like turned their high-tech textiles machines or something to making masks, and he knows the company, so he bought some like apparently super high-grade masks or something that are washable and
Oh, awesome.
stuff. So going to get some, which is weird because they no one like I said, basically no one we know is really sick, and they didn't. We're not that worried, and they're not that worried, and we're sensible people. But it's going to be weird. Like you're kind of giving almost like I don't know.
That's the trick of it, though, right? Because so many people might have it but are asymptomatic, right?
Sure.
Wearing the mask is really just to protect other people from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's cool because in Guernsey we haven't had a new case in weeks now,
Mm-hmm.
and so they're opening stuff back up. So like primary schools are going back, but half the school goes back 2 days, and then no one's in school on Wednesday, and then the other half of the school goes back Thursday, Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and like loads of
They're
like,
still shutting down travel from out of.
absolutely you can't go anywhere else, but like on Guernsey itself, like stuff's beginning to slowly open up, so we can
Mm-hmm.
have bubbles with up to like you can have 4 family bubbles now, so you can have like 3 other families that you can interact with. But yeah, so we chose our bubble because these people trying to get in our bubble, but we hate them, or I hate them. My family
Well, you
tolerates them.
didn't bubble up with those people.
No, we got away. But now
Sweet.
we're basically
You last bubble on Earth.
we bubbled up with a load of people who are friends with my youngest brother.
Oh no.
But they're like family friends as well. But
Yeah.
it's just so he has someone to interact with or whatever. But it's
You
good because it
bubbled
means
up with
I
random
can still
teenagers.
avoid socializing.
Mhm.
They were like, we've been invited to a barbecue with all our bubble people. Tomorrow, do you want to come? I was like, no. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna stay home and play video games. Thank you very much.
All right.
Anywho,
You figure out how we're not gonna be able to teleport?
nah, I'm not gonna finagle a way to not teleport. I think you should teleport.
I still think we should teleport somewhere south though and travel.
Yeah, definitely. I need to get. Is there an oasis at night charm,
Boots
but
of the
in
Winterland.
reverse?
Boots of winter.
Oh, but those require attunement. One doesn't require attunement.
Just
Just wear furs. Just dress warm.
looks like when it's gonna be.
I mean, we have absolutely no idea, and we also can't buy warm clothes here. So like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why
Um,
we're.
and I'm guessing Calland and Tesse or whatever it was aren't as magically in Teeth as in tune as Ashar is, like with their magical elf rulers and all the rest of it. They probably don't have
Mhm.
You know, that
snow at
means
night charms or whatever.
Frosthaven.
Neither of them have holes, I believe, or maybe Teeth has a hole. Fuck.
No, I don't.
No.
No, they don't. They don't.
I'm pretty sure one of them does. Maybe.
Even if they
No, the
do, I don't
closest
know.
one is the Dwarven Hall.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure.
Maybe I'm just looking at Mugrus's guide.
Yeah. Anyways.
If so, it's probably a smaller hole or something.
Mm-hmm.
Small hole.
They mostly study frogs there or something. Just
Mm-hmm.
That's the
No,
dismissive way of.
That's the Ishkale hole. That's where the weed dwarves live.
your Byron is showing there. It's a smaller hall.
That's what I was going for. Um,
Yeah, you're right.
I mean-
neither of them do.
Told you.
I mean, things might have changed in
I'm
50
allowed
years.
to fucking check.
True.
Christ.
True. True. True.
And
True.
it has been 50 years.
True. 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 True.
Oh look. It says actually.
The holes of I told you so.
One day, Byron visited and made another hole. More feeder holes.
When a mummy hole and a daddy hole love each other very much.
They give each other a very special hug.
And then a hole pops out from somewhere.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh
Though Byron probably has invented like a hole in a box at this point where you can just
Yes.
sort of put it down and just boom.
But yeah, Rutherford's instantaneous hole.
no.
Rutherford's Instant Institute.
Yes. Just write that down.
And it's canon.
Yeah.
It is law.
I have spoken. So teleportational things. Have you ever been to Vyros, Bryn?
We need to. We're loose ends.
Yeah, whatever.
Loose
We
ends.
have, we have to. I thought we were gonna talk. We gotta talk to the dwarves.
Yeah.
We gotta go back and like let the
Mhm.
Mirage know.
Yeah.
Oh, this
We
is
could
gonna
just-
be one of these
We
sessions.
can. We totally can. We can totally hand wave it. I'm cool with hand waving
No,
and
it's
all.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to just know what everyone wants to do.
You get one thing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just
Rein it
Really?
in.
real quick, I guess. Abrashmina would tell Eli that they are going.
That's it. You're done.
Oh yeah, see you later in like 6 months or something.
Yeah.
Bryn only has one teleport spell, right?
Mhm.
So Deontay's gonna have to take us back.
Or we can use don't you have
Or we
word
can-
recall?
We can. Otherwise we could. What I'm saying, we could go via the dwarves, via the thread
The bead.
stuff, the beads and the
Mm.
threads and the stuff. Because
Mm.
if that's the way we're going back, and Makud wants to see the dwarves first, we'll probably end up at the dwarves
It's
first.
probably not a bad spot to leave a bead, to be honest.
We have left a bead with the dwarves.
No, I mean.
I think he means with
Nahasera spot.
Nahasera.
Oh. Well, that
I
is
think
Makud's
we have-
decision.
I think we have. There was a talk about where we left them. I think there might be one in the Mirage, maybe one opposite the Mirage in case of danger, or like possibly at the Shelfer D. There was like or with the Six Eyes, there was a secondary location.
There is
Mm.
one with the 6 eyes, I believe.
One with the Six
Yeah.
Eyes, one in the
Yeah.
Mirage, one with
One
the
of
dwarves, one with Jari potentially when he's traveling. So we
Mhm.
have two more. One could go here, and then we have one extra. Nahasera could take it, and then we could always join her when she's talking to Katara or something, wherever she ends
Yeah.
up.
That will not work.
No.
No.
Sounds as if her lair is warded against magic.
It is somewhat in between this plane and the plane of fire.
Oh.
Ah,
But still, you want one of these, right?
Yes, this way, if you
Sure.
ever need our assistance, we could come to you quickly.
I don't really have pockets, but I could give one to Deontay.
sorry, is she naked right now?
No, I mean she's in like
Just
a dress,
a
but
dress.
it's.
And I'm pretty sure it's an illusion, probably,
yeah,
because she's not really a human.
yeah.
Although
Well, she can
it's like
polymorph.
shape-shifting. Yeah, she can
Yeah.
polymorph, so she could it would just
True
become
polymorph.
part of her. Yeah, she could just become part of her person if she changed.
Yeah, but that's
Whatever.
probably an awkward conversation when you guys teleport into somewhere.
Oh yeah, that'd be weird.
This is awkward.
Well, I presume she was going to tell us via message or something when it is safe to do so, but
I mean, dragons are real big. This is a tiny little thing that she's gonna have to carry around.
Fine, just give it to
Okay.
Deontay. Not a huge deal.
He
If
drops
Deontay
her.
wants it.
don't lose this, Deontay. I know there's a lot of stuff here, and he like looks around at the piles of things.
I will make an earring out of it or something.
Fantastic.
Great.
But yes, I could word of recall us home unless you want to go visit the dwarves.
Makes sense to go visit the dwarves and then word to recall home.
Or use the spool to get home from the dwarves. I don't actually have to do word of recall. I suppose.
I mean, however we do this, it's fine.
Yeah.
I won't be able to teleport us to Lament until.
Could we cut our time in half? Two of us go to the dwarves and two of us tie up loose ends in a shop.
Okay, whoever wants to go dwarves, I'm going now. Other people can do what they want.
Dwarf time.
Don't mean to make you sigh. I just thought it might be faster.
Nasira, it has been a pleasure. Deontay, the same. Bye. And he just like whips it around, and whoever chooses to go with him.
Yeah, I guess Abrush me if we're gonna do hand wavy thing. It doesn't matter if we're hand waving it really. So
Yeah.
Abrush Mina will go back to Eshar, I guess.
I guess yeah.
Oh yeah,
Who's
you
going to
have
the
to,
dwarf?
don't you, Mina? Because you're word of recall.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, whatever. I'll
Okay.
take me and Declan back to Eshar.
Sure.
Okay.
Bryn and McCood, you find the dwarves are all very excited about something they're slowly building. It looks like a giant kind of barrel-shaped transportation machine, but it's not ready yet. But when you explain the dragon situation to them and the possibilities of a dragon-killing weapon, that seems to excite them even more, and so they begin design on that, we'll say.
Dude is definitely going to explain it as, right, you've seen a worm, imagine a worm that is bigger and has wings.
They get it.
Good.
Bryn, minor illusions. Some of the dragons that she has seen in her visions.
Oof.
Also, if we want to be fluent, I've not attuned to the belt, so Makud would have to come into the meeting and then just go to to Demora or whatever, just be like stick his finger up and then just like wait for an hour, and then he can talk. I imagine he's picked up some words.
Yeah, and Damara speaks English or common.
That's true, but oh well.
And I show them dragons. As he's explaining what they look like. Visual aids.
And I imagine dwarf planning meetings involves lots of beer, so
yeah, of course.
Good.
Coming back loaded.
I mean, we can take our drink. Didn't say Seven Gritch.
Come back with like a travel mug full of Seven Gritch.
They call it a growler. It's really cool.
Dwarves perfect technology.
Dwarves call them grumblers, though.
I get it.
All right, and the other two, what loose ends do you guys want to tie up immediately?
I guess we go to the success so that Declan can speak to Sharat.
Yes.
Keep him appraised of what's going on, how long we'll be gone, hopefully maybe, and trying to ask him to keep a pulse on. Am I talking over you, Rob?
No.
Oh, okay. I was hearing some kind of feedback after or something. I think I'm hearing myself echo. Yeah, just trying to keep a finger on the pulse of the political situation in Ashar for us, and mostly that. And then I would write a secret letter to Iolus, and I'll give that to you later.
Oh, secret letters. Would you be telling him of like the entirety of the situation?
It seems practical to let somebody know that the end of the world is coming.
Right.
We trust him. So yeah.
So like,
oh Jesus, heavy knowledge, Job.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. If we trust the guy, he's the person we know with the most authority in this city. If anybody's going to be able to marshal an army to maybe defend them against the end of the world.
So you get the impression that
Iolus has the most authority.
No, Sharat.
No, Sharat.
No, but he wrote a secret letter, and I thought that's what you were asking.
No. I was asking.
And then he
Sharat.
he
I was
switched
asking if he
to
told
the conversation.
Right. I was like, I thought you was talking about dragons to Iolus, and I was like, that's a brave
Yeah,
move.
whoa, that's a That's a
Yeah.
thing.
I got the impression he was telling Sherrod.
Yeah, me
so
too.
I was with y'all.
Yeah. So, Shirat, after like, you get the impression he wouldn't really believe it, but coming from someone like you, where he's like, "Damn, if this guy's saying it's probably true," and so he will offer you any help he can, any help you want.
Not much he can do. Just
Yeah.
maybe start getting people ready for apocalypse.
Yeah.
There are officially now bigger problems than any of the shit we were talking about before.
Bigger lizards to fry.
I mean, he's
To roast on sticks.
they're a big old thieves guild, effectively. They may hear rumor of interesting items or weapons or artifacts from a dragon killing age.
If he wants to offer us magical dragon killing artifacts, yeah, great.
I mean,
he could send out feelers.
Yeah, he says
Yeah.
he'll look into it. We'll see.
Yeah. Abadashmina has been on the eye for some of those. Like, this is like, if it can kill a dragon, it can kill a sandworm. I've been trying for a long time. Shar is a dry well in that regard.
I think it's a dry well anyway, but
Desert.
Meh.
Because it's full of sand.
Now, Abadashmina is going to make sure that Aranthis gets the money that she mentioned giving him. Because
They want to build a bunker around this.
how's your fire insurance?
And try and like kind of, I guess, update them as well, because Mitha and Aranthis have been, Mitha at least has been a really good ally, and she might know something that can help, perhaps.
Yeah.
And of course, telling Eli, giving out like feelers on whether or not he would want to come, but not asking him if he wanted to come.
He will immediately say something to the effect of, "When are we leaving?"
Are you sure you want to come with us? It's supposed to be very cold. I have not been to Calland. There is snow.
He just gives you a look with like raised eyebrows. That sort of
Was
says,
it a silly
like,
question?
Yeah. I'm coming.
Well, all right. Well, we will be leaving as soon as the others are ready, so I guess pack your things.
Done? I don't really have anything for snow.
All right. Well then, head back to the Mirage and start taking care of like the loose ends there.
Yeah. Back pay for the employees or front pay.
We just set aside their bonus. Do we need to set aside their pay?
Well, they
We
can
don't know
take
how long
it
we're gonna
from
be.
the profits. So
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
you don't.
Okay. So I don't actually have
Yeah,
to.
the
make it here.
profits. It was more a flavorful thing. Like the profits are all after expenses. So.
Okay.
I'd just like to say I put down one of my favorite notes, which it said for Bryn and Mac saying dwarf meetings include plenty of beer. Brackets, not Savmagrich, they're working.
Yes. We're working.
It's a working lunch.
Yeah. That made me crack up. I guess when we are ready, we will return.
Is there? Sorry. Is there anybody we want to leave one of the sending stones? Because if Eli's coming with us, we can give one of the stones to somebody else.
Sherrod?
Okay.
Would be probably my vote.
Anyone else?
There's also Nahasira Deonte,
Do they not have
I mean,
access to magic that
Mirage
they can do
peeps.
anything?
Yeah,
isn't Deontay the most magical man on the earth? Like,
Yeah,
can he
yeah.
not
You know,
send?
Byron would still hand him his, balls in a
Probably.
jar, but
No, I'm going to give it to Sharat because he does have Alluri, but Alluri's never really sent us any messages like that, so it might not be a spell she knows. So
she's never initiated them. To be fair, yeah, you're right.
yeah,
So I was gonna say
So,
she
yeah.
she replied to your one when you were in the prison.
yeah. So yes, Sharat is a good choice.
Okay.
I agree with Makud. Slash down. Makud.
There's one end and the other begin.
It gets more Indra every time. I love it.
I know. It's the only way I can say Makud now.
They should meet sometime, somewhere in the multiverse.
Just
They would have
two
so much fun together.
absolute mongs just running around beating the shit out of dragons. All right. Well,
I was just going to say that we do return so that Bryn can perhaps have a conversation with her family if she so
Yeah.
wishes, but
Yeah, so Bryn would definitely ask Madar if she wanted to come with us to the Frozen North.
she would reply in the affirmative.
And then, yeah, she talked to her mother and Holly about going, but we can have that, play that out, or we can just
Up to you. What would you say?
I would just say that we've got business that's calling us to Calland.
What kind of business?
World-ending business, the only kind I deal in nowadays.
Imagine they both kind of chuckle, like pat your arm, and just tell you to be careful, and that whenever you come back, there'll be something warm waiting for you.
Yeah, I really wish I hadn't gotten rid of all my my warm clothes. It's gonna be cold as hell.
Yes, you are.
Just got that one pair of boots broken in too, but all right.
In regards to Abba and his investment opportunity, can we get that kick-started before we leave?
I guess, yeah.
he said
I
he
guess.
was going to return with a business plan.
Yeah, I mean,
so-
I didn't. I assumed it would be after, but then again, you might be a while, so I think it's probably better if you do it before. So yeah, we'll say he comes around, and because we're sort of going through things quickly, I guess, he'll explain basically that he would like to teach trade skills to children. He has properties near his place that he would like to purchase and set up, dormitories for kids, and he would like to hire staff to teach them. That's pretty much the long and short of it.
Well, seeing as he spoke to Makud about it, and Makud said he had 10 grand for him, and he's now going away for a while, he's just going to give him the 10 grand if he accepts.
You get a very stunned look of gratitude, but he does accept.
So the Makud is going to be like, I don't know how long I'm going away for, but there's like big things happening, and people should be ready for those things. So take this.
Abba pulls you into a hug. And like he kind of.
I imagine he pulls me into a hug, and then like Makud like stands to his full height or something and pulls him up.
And Makud is Abba is like 6'6", so it's like very silly to see a man that big be bear hugged, but.
Does he need any more capital?
This is,
Or is that...
a lot of money, but any more will be put to the same use.
If he doesn't need, I think I might hang on to mine in case we need to buy some things in Viros. But Abrashmino will recommend that he write a letter to the Councilman Sharat, and mention that you are working on this with the virtues, and I think he will. He's a good-hearted councilman, so I am sure that he will help you with the arrangements.
Yes, I hadn't thought to go to the Six Eyes. That's a good idea.
I did not say the Six Eyes. I said that you should go to Councilman Sharat.
In his official capacity.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, yes, all right.
Does
I'll
Abba
do
know
that.
that he's Six Eyes?
Yeah.
Is that him just
That's
laying it
clearly
out?
what-
Okay, cool.
That's clearly what he's trying to tell us right now.
Yeah. Abrashmina will look surprised and say, "Oh," and yes.
But maybe they can help in both capacities.
You know, I think I can help, and I'll give 10,000 gold. I'm not going to be one-upped by Makud.
10,000.
Oh, okay.
No,
They might
That's
not
out
need
there.
much more than 10,000.
That's-
Like, it's
that's
just
not-
starting a school.
Yeah, that's what I was.
you,
That's
you
what
know
I was
how
thinking.
expensive schools are?
I mean, in D&D terms, that's like.
Yeah, but
You're gonna-
that's more people that they can help.
You're gonna come
Yes,
back and it's like,
that's true.
welcome to the Ashar Megaplex.
Maybe that's what the city needs.
Yeah,
very
instead
true.
of
For
the,
Iolus, it's like, Declan, why won't you give me money?
instead of the shitty bazaar, it's a giant mall shaped like a
Fine.
giant mall.
Maybe I won't.
For a school? Is that what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a whole bunch of money, and I joked that why didn't Declan think of this, or why didn't we as good guys think of this? Obe says he wants to make a craft, like an academy, like a craft school for
Like a
people
guild
to
hall.
learn, like a guild hall to learn practical skills and get kids off the streets and that kind of thing. Basically, what ILS is doing, but
Like a mundane version of Iris.
a mundane.
Yeah.
And Makud
Oh.
offered him 10 grand on the spot, but
And yeah.
he did say that Declan would super love that idea when he was talking to Obe.
I mean, I don't think anyone's told Declan about it.
I
That's
mean,
what we're-
sometimes
kind
we
of
have to
what happened
presume
now.
you're here, or at least Biscuit is listening or something. Like,
I mean, we are handing out a lot of gold right now, so whatever
she
you
would
want to
like
get
to be
funded.
part of it.
I mean, we did have a lot of beer at our working lunch.
Yeah, it's the two. It's the two drunk people.
Abrashmina is abstaining because 10,000 is a lot, and then Bryn also threw in 10,000, but Abrashmina is still not going to be shamed into putting in more,
No,
more money.
That was out of character.
Oh, was it? You're not actually
Yeah.
giving 10K?
No, I am giving 10K, but I'm not doing it because I can't. I'm not.
Oh, okay, okay.
I will
One-upping-
help these kids because I am better than Makud.
I'm just saying that's what I wrote down. I'm not going to be one up by Makud and then 10k.
Oh
but-
no, it's
mean,
it's in the notes,
canon.
Jade.
That's the
It's in
kind
the
of
notes.
thing.
Well,
That's the kind of thing I imagine
I-
she would say in jest.
yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I feel that's really Bryn. Like, she's giving for a good cause, but she will wrap it in some cynicism or something.
Mhm.
Like,
I mean, they've probably been competing in a bunch of shit all day. Like,
probably.
I can take more. I can drink more than you.
They've been arm wrestling, but because Makud's stronger, Bryn gets to use her leg.
I do love the idea of the working lunch, that they're both just very merry. But
Declan, would you like to donate to the mundane school, or perhaps give some money to Iolis's school, or are you good?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
he's
Um,
saving all his for a giant bunker under a shower.
I did think of something else I wanted to do.
Mhm.
I want to go to the bazaar and speak to Qual and ask him if he knows anything about Wormthill. See if he knows anything about the potion.
sorry, I just have to get into character.
No, it's fine. Like, it can be hand waved. He doesn't actually have to say anything unless he has something interesting to say.
No, Qual has to speak. Qual is like
Yes,
one of the main NPCs of this campaign.
he's our Gilmore.
Potion seller, I have a very important query for you.
Wormphil.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I find you very irritating, and all of your friends too. But coming to me with made-up ingredients just to waste my time is highly, highly annoying. And really
Oh, well, I had it on
has
good
very
authority
little
that
benefit to anyone. Excuse me, I was talking. So I would appreciate it if you go away and never come back.
I do have it on good authority that Wormtail is real.
Right. Well,
Along.
you go enjoy reading your little fantasy novels or whatever you get your information from, and I will stay here, a man of science, and produce my high-quality products.
I will be sure to bring you some whenever I return.
Yeah, you do that. I would love to see that. He kind of
You
chuckles to
would.
himself.
What would you give me if I return with some Wormtail?
If you return and prove that this stupid herb is real, then I will give you half of the equity in my store.
Ambrashmina holds out the hand and says, "Very well, it is agreed."
Kind of narrows his eyes and looks at your hand.
I feel like
What?
give this guy an insight check.
What do I get if it's not real?
Satisfaction of being a smug asshole.
Do I get half the benefit of, or half equity in your business?
Oh no, we will just never patronize you again.
He'll reach over and like close your hand away from him. I don't think that's a very good deal. So I think, and he'll kind of flick his fingers in a dismissive way. You just be on your way now, little girl.
Oh, I suppose that you could always offer a real deal rather than, putting up equity in your store.
Look, I'm not going to make deals on pretend plants that you're just making up. That's very silly. Because I have better things to do, such as make my award-winning feather tokens and potions. Now, out of interest, have you, Never mind, actually. And he'll,
No,
turn to bustle away.
Have I what?
Nothing. Good day.
I would insight check that.
Okay.
That would be a dirty 20.
You think there's something he's like that's been weighing on him a little, that maybe he's been thinking about with regards to you and your team? But he doesn't want to talk about it, obviously.
Yes, obviously. Qual, we have been very loyal, if irritating, patrons of yours. There are many potion sellers that we could seek out, but yours have always been of the finest quality.
Correct.
And I, at least, have tried to be very patient with your various quirks and of personality. There is something you wish to say. I will not bring it up to the others unless you say it is all right.
Kind of glances down and like kind of You can see him like kind of moving his tongue, like his mouth's gone suddenly dry. I think we've covered quite enough on this conversation.
I just know that we will be leaving for quite a while, or we will be leaving for some time. Don't know exactly how long. And we had the opportunity to perhaps bring back our rare herb, and I thought of anyone that we know you would perhaps benefit greatly from any properties it might contain.
Make a
I
persuasion
came
check.
here. Ooh, okay. Do I have advantage for being pretty?
No.
I'm gonna use my recap inspiration then. Oh, that's not very good. 15.
That would be extremely thoughtful of you. Were it not absolute camel shit. So please, and you see he's like regaining some of his haughty composure. Step away from my stall. There are real customers who wish to come and survey my purveyance.
Ambrosmina makes a pointed look
Yeah,
of like all of the
crickets.
people who are like avoiding his stall, especially because he's such a grating person. And she'll just shrug and say, "Very well, if you do not wish to have some, if you do not trust the, intelligence of the dragon that told us where to find this herb, then
Oh, you speak to
very well."
dragons now as well. How quaint. You must lend me the book you've been reading. My nephews would love it. And he'll kind of just keep making snide remarks until you leave.
Very well. Prick.
God, he is my favourite NPC.
I try every time to
Yeah,
be
you
nice
do.
to him, and he's such a jerk.
If I was still naming episodes, I might. Even with all the dragon stuff or whatever, the end of the world, I might name it. That would be extremely thoughtful of you if it were not absolute camel shit. That line was amazing.
I'm glad it was appreciated. So,
I'll show him. He'll see.
Eli just comes to Bryn. It's like, she's been spending an awful lot of time at this stall. Do I need to be worried?
No, you don't.
I mean, she
It's
does have a
fine.
morbid fascination.
I mean,
with-
Alright.
The morbid fascination, i.e., I go there every time we need healing potions. Sure.
Sure, but you engage him in conversation far beyond what needs to be an actual exchange. But
give us the potions for a discount. That's it. And we're gonna come back
He only
and
needs every magic item salesperson in a shard.
One day he's going to
fine.
have a redemption arc and you guys are going to fall in love.
one day,
nope, we actually just passed that up.
Yeah.
Because he wouldn't tell us what was going on.
Yeah.
Because he needed to be a prick.
You can't do the NPC's loyalty mission if the NPC won't give you the mission.
Yeah, he's just
When I
not
was
ready
there,
to. 'Cause
I selected
you
in
have
the dialogue
bigger
tree.
lizards to fry.
Alright, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go out, we're gonna do a couple more side missions, and then we'll come back and we'll try to
Yeah,
see if we
you
can't
need to
pick up
level
this
up.
oil.
Do a bit grinding.
he's a secret dragon, and he's sick of your shit.
You only get the side quest after level 20.
Yeah.
It's an epilogue mission.
No,
Yeah,
there's a
emerald
special
weapon.
item you have to have.
I was going to offer the shield.
Great.
You would have got a sarcastic response.
All right.
So technically, we need to sleep for the night because spell slots.
Indeed.
Technically,
So
Sorry, can I
No.
have?
yeah, I was gonna say I want everyone to get out anything else they want to do in a shower, because the session is going to be drawing to a close fairly soon. I'm up early tomorrow, I'm afraid. So I want to have everything done so that next session is like minute 1. We're in Viros.
Everything Declan is doing is like research and building and crafting. So one night's not enough to really do any of it. But
Okay.
he would probably just be in the basement, like getting all of his samples like squared away in like a cool, like below the floor kind of cooler that he set up, and
Yeah,
generally
definitely.
just prepping his
And,
workspace.
I owe you some information from the ledgers, so I can add a bit to that for a night of research on that as well, or whatever. Makood, you heard something?
Sure. Bryn, do you want to do anything?
No, I got sent off by my family. Madar's coming. We're good.
Okay, just in case it's dragged on at all, but Makood would like to work his way through the sewers to the new Six Eyes place.
Yeah.
He may or may not have been there before, I'm not sure. We helped them move, so I guess. And he would ask Shirat, unless he found her, but ask where Abella is.
He will smile and say she is safe. We took her out of her shower for a little while to make sure that she wasn't being pursued, but now things are a little calmer. We're getting ready to bring her back. She's currently in the Triumvirate.
It'll look like he doesn't know where that is, because he probably doesn't.
It's nearby.
Where is she going to live when she returns?
Well, we'll set something up for her, I am sure.
Mina already told you what we're going to do, right?
She did.
And the whole dragon as big as the sky thing, and
I do, yes.
he is gonna sit down in any, if there is a chair that looks like it will bear his weight, or a bench or something.
There's one being brought in specifically.
Okay, because I don't think he usually I picture him not sitting in these things. And when we go and see Shirat, he's just standing leaning against a wall or something, occupying most of the space. And he's like, Declan is worried that this is all end of the world stuff. Nasira said that's what she saw.
Right.
At least what she thinks. That this dragon could do it. And the dragons that follow him. Now, and he kind of straightens up a little bit. I'm going to make sure that doesn't happen. But you have to make sure that the people we care about here don't die before that happens. And it gives him a more serious look than he has given him ever.
He nods. And he says, I will do everything in my power, Makood. I swear.
I have 2 things to give you to help you with this. and he puts like the bauble for the spool on the table. This allows us, if we haven't already, but
Well, we can say this is when you gave it to them or something.
sure. This allows us to get to you using this, and it like unspools a bit of the thread. I can get to the dwarves, I can get to Mirage, I can get to Nahasila, and he kind of like nods his head a little bit side to side. You need to send a message if something bad happens.
I will
You could
do.
give him the sending stone at the same time.
I was thinking about it, but you'd already talked to him, and you
No,
probably
no,
couldn't
no,
have
no.
done that.
Give this
Okay.
to Makood.
3 things. He corrects himself, and he puts the sending stone on the table as well. And this you can use to call us when that bad thing happens.
I will, Makood.
The sewers may be safe. They might not be. But hopefully we will return, and then we can, make a shot a place that everyone wants to live, and all the rest of it.
We will, Makood. Together.
And good. He kind of like stands up and pulls one of the like many sacks off his belt or something, or out of the bag of holding or something, and goes, "This is for Rebella, so she can live the life she deserves until she gets the one she deserves." And he's gonna drop 3,869 gold.
Damn.
Because it evens out
Yeah.
everything I have here to a full 30,000.
And he says, I will give it to her myself, Makood. Thank you.
He's gonna like hold out his huge hand. We are going to make this place better together.
We will, but you have some dragons to kill first. He kind of chuckles.
He is gonna like the grip is gonna tighten slightly, not to like crush his hand or anything, but like out of excitement, and there is a fire in his eyes. Oh, I know. And I'm going to bring everyone back. Proof.
You do that, Makood. Bring back a nice big dragon head to put at the front of the Six Eyes to scare off our competitors.
He like squeezes the hand and like releases and goes, "I suppose the proof will be that not everyone is dead, but the dragon head works as well."
Yeah, both work. Both work. Yeah, he'll kind of laugh and nod. And, the scene sort of closes there, I imagine.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything else they would like to do?
No.
No? Very well. Then that is where we will close the session. And next time we will travel to Vyros.